Hello guys, it's the Unclear 999. Today's video is about the difficulties of young adults. It's hard out there for young adults. Harder than most people realize. Turning 18 doesn't come with a magic manual. It comes with pressure, confusion, expectations, and a world that suddenly demands everything all at once. Between the ages of 18 and 26, young people are told to figure it all out. Who they are, what they want to do with the rest of their lives, how to pay the bills, where to live, how to build credit, get a degree, start a career, find love, and become independent, all while carrying the invisible weight of past trauma, anxiety about the future, and a society that measures worth by productivity. For many, it's the first time they feel truly alone, no longer shielded by the walls of high school, curfews, or structured routines. Suddenly, the safety net is gone, and the world isn't waiting with open arms. It's staring back, cold and complicated, filled with bills, deadlines, broken systems, and rising costs of living. College feels like a gamble, jobs require experience you don't have, and rent is so high that even working full-time barely keeps the lights on. Mental health struggles creep in as the pressure mounts. Anxiety, depression, loneliness, all made worse by the illusion on social media that everyone else has it all figured out, but they don't. Most are silently struggling to. It's hard because this is the age where you re-expected to plant the seeds of your future, yet you're still learning how to hold the shovel. It's hard because people say you're young, you'll be fine, but age doesn't make rent cheaper or dreams easier. And it's even harder because nobody teaches you how to be an adult, how to manage your emotions, your finances, your relationships. So if you're between 18 and 26 and you're feeling lost, stuck, behind, or overwhelmed, you're not failing. You're navigating the most confusing chapter of life, and you're doing the best you can with what you have. It's not your weakness. It's your strength that keeps you pushing forward every day. When it would be easier to give up, this phase isn't forever. It's a furnace, and you are being forged. The road is messy, but it's shaping you into someone more resilient, more self-aware, and more ready for everything ahead, one step at a time. And the hardest part, it's not just the external battles, the rent, the loans, the job search, the expectations. It's the internal war that rages in silence. It's the quiet doubt that creeps in when you see others succeeding while you feel stuck. It's lying awake at 2 a.m., wondering if you've already fallen behind in a race you never agreed to run. It's trying to smile through the pain of rejection letters, ghosted job applications, relationships that don't work out, or friendships that fade away as life pulls everyone in different directions. Between 80 and 26, everything feels temporary. The homes you live in, the jobs you work, the people you love, and that instability can be exhausting. Some days, it feels like you're building a life on quicksand. One wrong move away from sinking. You're expected to be independent, but no one taught you how to build credit, how to budget, how to find peace in your own company, how to heal childhood wounds that still echo in your adult decisions. And for many, the emotional scars run deep. From broken homes, generational trauma, identity crises, unhealed bullying, or being told your dreams were too unrealistic. Yet, despite all of it, you wake up, you show up, and you try, even when you don't feel like it. That's courage, that's strength. You're not lazy or lost. You're learning. You're unlearning toxic patterns, trying to rewire a brain raised in survival mode, and figuring out what kind of life feels true to you, not one forced on you. And then there's the guilt. The guilt of not doing enough, of not being where you thought you'd be by now, of disappointing your parents, of comparing yourself to your more successful peers. Social media makes it worse. A highlight reel of people traveling the world, getting engaged, starting businesses, buying homes. But what no one posts is the breakdowns behind the scenes, the hours spent in therapy, the bank overdraft fees, the fights with family, the fear of failure that lurks behind every success. Everyone is struggling with something, and this generation, more than any before, is being crushed under the weight of too many expectations with too few resources. The cost of living has soared, mental health care is expensive or inaccessible, and most jobs pay just enough to survive, not enough to thrive. And still, people ask why you're not further along. But here's the truth. Just surviving in today's world is a victory. Holding on to hope is a form of resistance. Choosing healing, rest, or simply getting out of bed is something to be proud of. Your timeline doesn't have to look like anyone else's. There's no right age to succeed, to figure it out, to find love, to feel fulfilled. This chapter of your life, ISNT, meant to be polished. It's meant to be real, raw, unfiltered. It's a season of becoming. And becoming is messy. It's crying in your car, laughing with friends at 2 a.m., questioning your beliefs, starting over again and again, finding pieces of yourself in heartbreak, in solitude, in tiny victories no one else sees, and slowly things start to shift. You begin to realize that it's okay to not have all the answers, that your worth is not tied to your productivity, that you can outgrow people, places, even versions of yourself. That failing doesn't mean you are a failure. It means you're trying, and that's all you can do. Sometimes try, fall, learn, heal, repeat. So if no one's told you lately, you're doing better than you think. You're not alone in this confusion. Millions of young adults are walking through the same fog, quietly trying to make sense of their place in the world. The important thing is that you keep going. Not perfectly, but intentionally. Not fast, but forward. You, Dante, have to have it all figured out by 25 or even 35. Life is not a race. It's a journey of discovering what matters to you and what feels right for your soul. And the truth is, the struggle you're facing today is shaping the strength you'll carry tomorrow. The chaos now is preparing you for clarity. The pain now is making room for purpose. And one day, you'll look back and realize that this messy, overwhelming, confusing chapter was the birthplace of your greatest growth. Don't give up. You're not behind. You're becoming. And what they Dante always tell you is that healing and growth aren't linear. They come in waves. Some days you'll feel like you're finally getting it together, and other days it'll feel like you're unraveling all over again. That's okay. You're allowed to feel lost. You're allowed to not have all the answers. You're allowed to cry, to question everything, to take a break. Life ISNT, about constant acceleration. It says about learning how to breathe through the chaos and still find your footing when the ground beneath you feels unstable. And in this age of pressure, where it seems like everyone is building something while you're still trying to survive, remember this: the most beautiful foundations are often built slowly, quietly, below the surface. Just because you can't see your progress doesn't mean it isn't happening. Every mistake you learn from, every toxic habit you unlearn, every night you choose peace over chaos, every morning you decide to try again. That's growth. That's transformation. And it's happening even when no one is applauding you. You don't need to go viral to be valuable. You don't need a perfect job or a 6-figure salary to have purpose. You don't need to be married with a house and kids by 30 to feel complete. Your life is yours. Your story is unique. And your timeline is sacred. Let go of society's checklist. It was never written with your soul in mind. You're not late. You're not broken. You're human. And you're learning to build something real in a world obsessed with the artificial. That takes strengths most people don't even recognize. So give yourself credit, not just for the big wins, but for the quiet endurance it takes to keep going when no one is watching. When you're still working that job you hate just to survive. When you're eating ramen for dinner and questioning your purpose. When you're helping your family, dealing with trauma, or trying to love yourself in a world that profits off your insecurity. You are becoming someone powerful, someone resilient, someone who will one day say, I made it through that storm, and it taught me who I really am. And when that day comes, when the dust settles, and you begin to see yourself clearly, look back and realize that the person you were in your 20s, stumbling through the dark, doubting your path, was braver than anyone knew, because it takes real courage to face life raw, without guarantees, and still believe in something better. And if you're reading this now, if you're still here, trying, hurting, healing, growing, then you are already more powerful than you think. You are not your mistakes. You are not your death. You are not your setbacks or your lowest moments. You are a mosaic of every lesson, every risk, every act of kindness, every late night thought, every ounce of hope you've held on to. And that makes you beautiful, not in spite of your struggle, but because of it. So Keep showing up, keep breathing, keep building your life in your own way, on your own time. One day, the dots will connect. One day, you'll see why it all had to happen this way. But for now, trust that you're not alone and that this storm you're in, it's not the end. It's the shaping of something strong, sacred, and unstoppable.